Wrap celery in aluminum foil, and the surprise will be revealed in today's video. Hello, it's Tracy here. Celery is a vegetable with a high water content, so if it's not stored properly, it can wilt, become soft, and spoil very quickly after just a few days. And that's exactly why today I want to share with you how to wash and store celery so it can stay fresh for many weeks, even a few months. Especially, there's a very useful aluminum foil trick that I just mentioned at the beginning. First, when you bring celery home, you need to clean it before storing it. Start by cutting off the root end at the bottom and the leafy top. You can keep the leaves to use in other dishes, as these are the areas where dirt often hides. Next, prepare a simple vinegar solution. Prepare a basin of clean water and add about 150 milliliters of 5% white vinegar. Stir well, then gently place the celery into the solution and soak it for about 2 minutes. This short soaking time helps loosen dirt, residue, and bacteria clinging to the surface without damaging the celery. You may see small particles floating up, and those are the dirt particles inside the celery. Then rinse the celery thoroughly under clean running water to remove any remaining vinegar and dirt clinging to the surface. Next, spread the celery out on a clean kitchen towel and let it dry completely before storing. This drying time helps reduce bacteria and excess moisture, which is very important for keeping the celery crisp and fresh for a longer time. Now let's start with the first storage method, soaking in water. Celery, after the root end has been cut off, can easily lose moisture and quickly become soft and spoiled if left at room temperature or in an unsuitable environment. What you need to do to help cut celery retain as much moisture as possible and create the right environment for it is to store it in water. First, prepare a glass container with a tight-fitting lid. Then cut the celery into sections that fit the size of the container. Next, place the celery pieces into the container. Do not pack them too tightly to avoid pressing them against each other. Then pour clean water into the container, making sure the cut celery is completely submerged. Using filtered or drinking water is very important, because celery will absorb all of this water, making it safer for you to eat later. Once the container is filled, close the lid tightly and place it in the refrigerator. You can apply this method when your celery has already started to wilt. Pay attention to it over the next few hours, and usually by the next day, the celery will become firmer and crisper. When soaked in cold water, the celery stalks slowly absorb water and regain their natural crunch. This method can keep celery fresh for many days and even extend its shelf life for several weeks if stored properly in the refrigerator. Method 2. Storing with aluminum foil. This is the method I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and I think many people are quite curious about it. After the celery has been thoroughly washed and completely dried, prepare a piece of aluminum foil that is an appropriate size, large enough to wrap the celery. Next, place the celery in the center and wrap it tightly. Make sure the aluminum foil fully covers the celery stalks from end to end, without leaving large gaps. Aluminum foil creates a protective layer that helps regulate moisture while still allowing ethylene gas, the natural gas celery releases as it ages, to escape slowly. Another advantage of aluminum foil is its good moisture release, which helps reduce bacterial growth and the formation of slime. Aluminum foil also helps block unpleasant odors from the refrigerator, keeping the celery fresh and clean. On the other hand, you should not use plastic bags for storage because celery releases ethylene gas and needs a breathable environment, while plastic bags do not allow this gas to escape. Over time, the celery will become soft, wilted, bruised, and spoil very quickly. After wrapping, place the celery in the refrigerator. Stored this way, celery can stay crisp and fresh for many weeks, and even for a few months. This is exactly what you want when you buy in large quantities or when you cannot use it all after each cooking session. Method 3. Freezing for storage. This is a great option if you usually only use a small amount of celery at a time and don't want the rest to go to waste. First, cut the celery into pieces that match your cooking needs. For thicker celery stalks, cut them lengthwise in half, then slice crosswise into smaller pieces. Cutting everything in advance will make cooking much faster later on and help you avoid wasting unused celery. Next, you need to blanch the celery by bringing a large pot of water to a boil, then carefully adding the celery. Blanch it for exactly 3 minutes. Blanching helps stop the natural enzymes that cause celery to become soft and mushy during storage. It also helps preserve the fresh green color. Remember to start counting the 3 minutes only after the water comes back to a full boil. As soon as the 3 minutes are up, remove the celery and immediately place it into a bowl of ice water. Soaking the celery in ice water stops the cooking process right away. Let the celery sit in the ice water for another 3 minutes, the same amount of time as blanching. This quick cooling process helps preserve both texture and color. After chilling, drain the celery well and spread it evenly on a tray lined with a clean kitchen towel or cloth. Arrange the celery pieces in a single layer. Gently pat them dry with another towel to absorb excess moisture. This step is very important because it helps prevent the celery pieces from sticking together when frozen. Next, place the tray in the freezer for about 30 minutes so the celery pieces partially freeze. This quick freezing process helps keep each piece separate, making it easier to take out only what you need later. Once frozen, transfer the celery into zip-top freezer bags or airtight freezer containers. If your freezer is set to 0 degrees Fahrenheit minus 18 degrees Celsius, frozen celery can last up to 1 year. However, in reality, most people usually use it within 3 to 4 months. Whenever you need celery for soups or stews, simply take out the amount you need and add it straight to the pot. And that brings us to the end of today's video. With these simple methods, you can keep celery fresh, crisp, and ready to use, whether you store it in water, wrap it in aluminum foil, or freeze it for long-term use. Each method helps you save money, reduce food waste, and make cooking easier every day. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with family members who enjoy cooking, and subscribe to the channel for more easy kitchen tips. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Thank you, and see you next time.